Hello again. Let us see how to create the promise and consume them in this session. Before that, what is the promise? A promise is an JavaScript object that acts like a placeholder for an asynchronous operation. In simple words, a promise is a container for future value. Let us take an analogy to understand the promise. Let's say you asked your friend to book a movie ticket, and there will be three possibilities. Like your friend may book a ticket or may not book the ticket, and your friend will book the ticket, and your friend will deny to book the ticket. So, like these three possibilities, promises also will have the three states. So, let us discuss about life cycle of promise. In the very beginning, promise will be in the pending state. At this stage, an asynchronous call that you made is still running in the background. Once the task is completed, then the promise will be in the settled state. There are two kind of settled promises. One is fulfilled promises and the second one is rejected promises. The fulfilled promises means the asynchronous operation is resulted in value that you expected, and rejected promise means there is a error due to network issue or due to offline. Now let us see how to create a promise. I just comment the code that we have written in our last session. As I said in the beginning, promise is a JavaScript object. So new promise, and this promise constructor will take a parameter called executor, which is a function. So function, and this executor function will be called whenever we create the promise object. Means whenever we say new promise, then it get executed. And again, this executor will take the two parameters. One is resolve and reject. You can see the definition here. Resolve is again nothing but a function, and reject again nothing but a function. So that's it. And let us save this promise into a variable constant promise. So let me run it. Now we have created the promise and stored in a variable called promise. As I said, the executor which we passed into promise constructor will get executed as soon as we create the new promise. So which means by the time it get executed now. So let us console it. Console.log promise called. Save it, and you can see that promise called, which means it got executed whenever we created the object of the promise. And now let's go and print the promise variable. And now we check promise, and you can see the state pending, which means we have created the promise and the promise state is pending now. At this stage, you don't know that your friend will book ticket or not book the ticket. So this stage is pending stage, and you can see the promise state pending, and promised result now it will be undefined. Now the state is pending. So now let us assume your friend booked the ticket, which means your friend fulfilled his promise and you got the expected output. So in that case, we have to use resolve. So resolve ticket booked. And now let's go and save and see this promise stage. So you can see that now promise stage is fulfilled and promise state is fulfilled. And let me comment it, and let's think that your friend didn't book the ticket and he denied your request. Then he rejected your request and he didn't fulfill his promise. So deny booking, and now go and save it. Now we see that promise is having the rejected state. So this is a rejected promise. And you can see that promise state rejected and promise result is deny booking. But whereas when you see the promise result here, you can see that promise result is ticket booked. But in case of reject, whatever we pass to the reject method, that will be the promise result value. Deny booking. This is how promise will have the different states, like starting from pending state, then fulfilled state, and rejected state also. Let me uncomment it. Now your promise is fulfilled. So you need to consume it to get the result. So how to do that? Using promise start, and promise is having a handler called then. What is the then handler that I will tell you now. And this then handler, you will have the again two parameters. One is unfulfilled and unrejected. As I said while discussing about the life cycle of promises, settled promises will have the two different promises, that is fulfilled promises and rejected promises. Once your promise is settled, then you will have the two different states. One is fulfilled, so function, and another one is again. So here you will have the result. So the first one is fulfilled promises and which is having the result, and the second one is rejected promises. So this rejected promise will have the details about why the promise is rejected. In nothing but it will have the error information. So error, that's it. And now here the promise is fulfilled. So here let console dot log and print the result. Now you can see that value is ticket is booked, and this function will not get executed because the promise is fulfilled and it is not rejected. So if you reject it, then you will have the like no reject, deny to book the ticket, and here let us paste it error. You can see the deny to book the ticket error. So we know that, so rejection means something kind of error or something that we need to take a look at. So it is always better practice to throw the error. So new error object, and there you place. Now you can see that error deny to book the ticket, and even you can see the line number where it got rejected. So line number 50, you can see the 50. So this is how we can create the promise, and you can resolve or reject the promise. And once the promise is resolved or rejected, then this then handler will be notified. And in then handler, the first function, which is unfulfilled function, it get called when the promise is resolved. And the second function will get called when the promise is rejected. Promise is very simple, and I hope you understand by now. And the important point that we need to remember is a settled promise can have either fulfilled or rejected promise. So let's say here we have result, here we are rejected, and what I mean is here you can't have the like this. So you can't resolve it and again reject it. So it can be only one thing. So since we resolved it first, then you can see that ticket booked and this fires. After that we rejected, but it won't consider that rejection. So the promise can have either fulfilled promise means either resolve or reject, but it cannot have both at a time. Like let's say set timeout. So here we have the set timeout which will execute after 1 second, and that resolve the promise. But even that won't be taken in place, and this will be ignored, and same way even this will be ignored. So the settled promise will have the only one promise, either fulfilled promise or rejected promise. And let me remove this now. As soon as we save it, the ticket booked is called. So we use promise to work in asynchronous way, but it doesn't have to work in asynchronous way. When you do like this, resolve ticket booked, it is having the result immediately, and it will give the result and it get executed. But if you want to provide some delay, then you can use the method, let's say set timeout, and here let's say 1 second I pass, and inside that you can use this. Now you can see after 1 second you get the result. Now let us discuss how to catch the error. let's say if you are sure about that, you are going to get error. So in that case, you can use the catch method, and you can avoid using this handler, because here in then handler you will have the fulfilled promises and rejected promises, and you can ignore these, and you can have the catch block, and it takes again one parameter like error console.log error. To receive the error, we need to reject the ticket. So reject, and you can see the deny booking after 1 second, that from the catch block. And when to use the finally. So as you know, irrespective of the successful or failure conditions, finally will get executed. In the promises also, it acts like the same way. Finally, even though you have error also, the finally block will be get executed. Let's see how to attach the handlers to the then method. Now let me keep resolved here. If you see here we are just displaying the message that whatever we received from the resolved state. But in real time, you may need to do some calculations after receiving the data. So for that, you need to create another method instead of writing entire thing. So in that case, you can write a function constant, let's say show message equal to, and just console log it because I have just string message console.log message, and I will pass this parameter, so it should have take one parameter. Now we have created the function, and this function can be passed as a handler to this then method. So let remove this entire thing and just pass show message, and this show message should be upside. Now you can see that message received, ticket booked. And now let us see how to promisifying the promises. Now what I do, I just create a function that will resolve the promise after a specified time. Let us create a function called wait constant, wait equal to, and let me write arrow function here, and this will return the promise, return new promise, and we know that promise will take the executor function. So as we already seen the normal function, I just use arrow functions here, and we know that this executor will take the two functions, that is resolve comma reject. So here I would like to resolve this promise after a 1 second or 2 second, depends on the user input. So here I would like to have the input parameter that user wants to provide. So here let us use the set timeout again, same thing. And here what we do, instead of 1000 we use seconds, means whatever user paused, and multiply by the 1000 milliseconds. So now if user pass the value 1, it will resolve the promise after 1 second. Now let us go and consume it. Same as the way how we consumed the promise, we can consume it. So wait, and here we need to pass the value because we need to specify that after how many seconds we want to resolve that promise. So I just pass 1 second dot. We know that promise will have the handler, then handler, and here I am going to write the fulfilled promise using the arrow function. Since we are not going to reject it, so I am not writing the error handler, which is rejected handler. That's it. And here this will receive the result. So result, say console.log, and here use the result. Now let's go and save it. I can see that ticket booked is displayed after 1 second. Save it. Now it is going to print it after 2 seconds. In our last session, we have seen that if you want to make another call using XML HTTP request after receiving the first call result, then we need to write the another callback function inside the first callback function. We can avoid it by using the promises. So how can you do that? Here I am going to make another call return and call wait, and here I pass 2 seconds, and here let me pass 1 second, and here I mention after 1 second. I just made a call to this and I just returned the promise. So after it receiving its promise value, and then here we made the call to return the promise. Since we return the promise here, again we can consume it using the then handler. So then, and here again I am using the fulfill promise, and here let's say again I mention result 2, and here I will mention after 2 seconds, and let me go and save it. You can see that now first it will print it after 1 second, then it will print after 2 seconds, and this way even you can make another call return wait. Here I pass 3, and I will consume same way, and here I just stop it. Instead of result 2 I mention result 3. You no need to pass result 1 or result 2, anything you can pass, and here I mention after 3 second, and now let go and save it. You can see that after 1 second, after 2 second, then the third message will display after 3 seconds. So this way you can promise failing or you can chaining the promises. In our last session we can see the callback hell where we need to write the nested callback functions. Here instead of writing the nested callback functions, you can just return the promise from another promise, and then you can consume that promise like this. So this is very neat and clean, and you can understand the code easily. So this is about promise, and in our next session we'll see how to make the Ajax call using the fetch and how to make use of promise.